Tonight's guest is a producer, a director, a casting director, a screenwriter, an actor, a bass player, and he's the co-owner of a wrestling federation.
Hi everyone, I'm Sal Rinella. I'm the next guest on Rob's Inner Circle. Don't go anywhere. Stay right where you are. We'll be right back.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Rob's Inner Circle, broadcasting live on my personal Facebook page, on the Bobby Short Shorts YouTube channel, and on the Rob's Inner Circle Twitch account. To all you lovely ladies out there, happy International Women's Day. I'd like to give a huge shout out to my good friend and producer of Rob's Inner Circle, Jenny Duhane. And to the other exceptional lady who works with us on Rob's Inner Circle, our podcast techie, Patty Saragosa. Thank you, ladies, for being part of Rob's Inner Circle and for making it as good as it is. And you know what? Happy International Women's Day to you personally from me. To open up the show, we wanted to give an honorable mention to Mr. Walter Gretzky, the father of the all-time great NHL star Wayne Gretzky, who passed away last week. He was fighting ailments such as Parkinson's and a whole bunch of other ailments. Wayne Gretzky, for those of you who are not familiar with him, he played on 4 NHL teams, including the Edmonton Oilers, the Los Angeles Kings, the St. Louis Blues, and he finished his career with the New York Rangers. I also wanted to give an honorable shout out to good friends of ours who were on our show, some wonderful guests, Hillary Barraford and Jason A. White, who are making headlines again with their film, the short film, The Hit. They are up for 4 nominations. And let's see if I can get this right. I've been practicing it all day. I had a hard time. The Idlewild International Festival of Cinema. And the nominations, they're up for the following nominations. It's for the Best Actress, the Best Short Film, Best Director, and Excellence in Directing. Congratulations to both of you. And we wish you the very, very best on behalf of myself here and everybody at Rob's Inner Circle. We remind you for all of the merchandise regarding Rob's Inner Circle and Daily Struggles, well, it's now available. And it's thanks to our collaborative effort with our good friend Vince Gargano. And you can get that on 514brandingco.com. So we got some quality items up there at affordable prices. A reminder, we invite you also to go onto the Bobby Short Shorts YouTube channel, and you can go and check out our programming we have on there. Go click onto the playlists, and then you can choose all of the previous Rob's Inner Circle podcasts. And you want to go check out our web series called Daily Struggles. It's absolutely awesome. It's funny. And you want to go make comments, give us some blue thumbs, share, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell, because every time there's going to be something new, you will be the first to know. Well, folks, it's that time once again. It's time to slip into our weekly ritual. It's time to sit back and relax, let the steam down, and let us carry the load. Folks, it's that time once again. It's showtime. It's time to get it on. We're ready to bring on our guest. I promise you, we're going to have a blast with our guest. He's an absolutely funny man. He's a man who wears many hats, and he's extremely talented. He's our good friend from Long Island, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Sal Rinella.
Thank you, Rob. I feel like you're bringing me into the winner's circle. Not only Rob's inner circle, but the winner's circle.
Sal,
Thank you.
what a profound pleasure it is for us to have you on our show.
Likewise.
So, Sal, tell us how you've been keeping busy. I mean, with COVID and all that. What have you been doing?
Gosh, on Saturday, it's going to be a year since this whole thing. I mean, you could probably say more than a year, but for definite, from March 13th of last year to March 13th this year is a year since we kind of locked down and all that stuff stopped working. I've been trying to stay as creative as I can. It goes in cycles, right? I pick up the guitar or the bass. Maybe I want to write. Maybe I want to film. But it's in cycles because you have to try to do something to get it done, but you also have to keep doing something to keep your skill level up.
Yeah. Sal, you know what? You've been working on your film Good Friday, and I think you started to shoot again, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, Sal, tell us what gave you the inspiration to write the film. And folks, later on, we're going to be showing you a clip from this movie. It's absolutely hilarious. It's absolutely original, and I believe you're producing, you're directing, casting, directing, acting in there. You're wearing all the hats, right?
Well, I have a great partner, Michelle Pava. That's awesome. That helps me along the way. And without her, I can do it. And I also have some other people. So Anthony Pellegrino and Ellen Pellegrino and various people, Joe Potts, Nino Laraca, Anthony Aveni. And to give you what was the main impetus was some years ago, I was cast to play a priest in a dinner theater show, one of those dinner theater shows loosely based on Tony and Tina's wedding. And what happened is, to me, the priest was very one-dimensional. When nobody was looking, that was like when I'd marry the couple, it was my cue to pick up and make believe I'm drinking from some wine, right? And so at some point, talking to different people, I started coming up with an idea that maybe we should dive into a different vibe for a priest that I'd be playing. Yeah.
Okay, well, Sal, tell me, how did you prepare for the role of Father? This is hilarious. I mean, I just think of the name, I just break out laughing because you're just so amazing in this. I mean, we look at you, you're like a straight A guy, and we watch you on film saying, holy mackerel, this guy's amazing. How did you prepare for the role of Nello Bello?
Oh, gosh. Nello Bello. Boy, that has a nice ring to it. And by the way, happy Good Friday to you, and the rest of the week looks good. What happens is my parents are from Italy, right? So they spoke with that broken English vibe, mispronouncing words sometimes or getting over flustered. So you take that. I also worked on these variations of these shows or this movie in dinner theater and other live events that I've done, and also some shorts. And if you add to it, Abbott and Costello, Three Stooges, Laurel and Hardy, Marx Brothers, Jerry Lewis, you add that all in, Roberto Benigni, you juggle, Johnny Stecchino, you juggle all that. And of course, Popeye, Flintstones, the Munsters, you throw it into the blender, and what comes out, comes out. I got to tell you, sometimes, Robert, funny parts sometimes don't make it if you're improvising. And you go, well, it's funny. Maybe it's not, it doesn't go along with the course of the movie. So it gets put to the side. Yeah.
Well, and I'm just wondering, how big a cast do you have on Good Friday?
Maybe 208 people or more.
Oh my!
And what's going to happen is, because various people died, like Cha-Cha and Jeff, Fat Rat Bastard Priami, various people have died, and I have to do a shout out that Tigger, my little church cat that plays crucifix, passed away about a week or so ago, and the cat had a good career. I mean, he appeared in Daredevil and other commercials. But what happens is, because various people have passed, what we're doing is, and we have enough footage for actually 2 movies. One's going to be called The Good Friday Feast. The other one's going to be called Good Friday, starring, of course, yours truly. Now, if I could get Patty, Jenny, and yourself down here, or I can get a camera up to you guys, we'd include you somehow.
Sal, that would be absolutely fantastic. We would love that.
Well, we'll figure it out.
And so after you finish filming Good Friday, what's next?
A movie that we're doing called Please Kill Me.
Okay.
I play a regular guy that has some hang-ups, totally different than Father Nelly, right?
Okay.
And his name is Taddeo Matteo, or Tad for short, or Thaddeus, or Tad. And I play just a regular guy that keeps running into different situations, different than Father Nelly. Father Nelly is funnier or over the top, and Please Kill Me, there's interesting twists along the way. It's pretty unique. I like coming up with unique things. Like we film Good Friday, like as if you're filming Goodfellas or Bronx Tale or something. But then every once in a while, there's a character like me, like Johnny Stecchino's character, or Roberto Benigni's character in Johnny Stecchino, if you ever saw that movie or something.
So, Sal, you were telling me in a pre-interview that you didn't start like yesterday acting, and this is like a recurring theme that I'm discovering as we're going along, is that all of these people are very, very passionate about the arts they're performing in. It's not something that they wake up one morning and say, "Hey, okay, I want to be an actor. I want to be a cameraman." It all starts. You were in your mom's womb practically, and you had an interest for performing arts, because you were saying you were going with your sister to theaters.
Yeah. So when we were kids, they give, you buy tickets to go to a show, and sometimes the shows were in Manhattan, whatever it was, Jack and the Beanstalk, and you get, or a magician's show, and you become enthralled, and you want to go home and start doing it. I remember my dad was getting rid of the TV set, this big Zenith. I took it to the basement, and I turned it into my chamber of horrors, that I'd have a girl put me in there, put like a blanket over it, and tie it with ropes, and I would disappear and come around, and come to the doorbell or whatever. Yeah, yada yada. So you start young, and as a kid, I used to love to play cops and robbers, and the guys would complain and go, "Oh, I'm going to shoot you, and you're dead." And I say, "Listen, I shoot you, you shoot me, we shoot Jim, we all fall down, after running around for a little bit. Then what we do is put those hats away. Instead of being cops and robbers, we're cowboys and Indians, and just have a good old time." And I think what happened was, from back then, I was like in that director hat going, "You stand there, I'll hide here, you jump from here." So this way, everybody has a chance to be seen.
So, and this, like, it's not only the acting aspect; it's the whole thing. You had this knack for film and entertainment and theater and all that.
Well, you're right. I think what happened, Rob, is it goes in cycles. A few years you want to act, a few years you go back to the music, whatever, right? Writing. And what happens is I'm blessed that this business has taken me to Russia, Hawaii, Hollywood, and other parts of the country. But what happens is film is the number one art that encompasses everything. The wardrobe, the glass that they're holding, the colored drink in the glass, the colored hair, or highlights or lowlights, makeup, music, the lines. You see what I'm saying? It's like a whole panoramic view of this cinematic product that you're responsible for.
And you're a huge aficionado for Superman.
I love, if we can go back to like when I was a kid, right? I mean, like a baby, like the first 2 years.
Gee.
What do you watch on TV? Cartoons, and there was the Superman cartoon. Then my mother buys like Mr. Clean or some bleach or something, and it came with a Superman puppet. So I was hooked, and I loved Superman because of his ethics, right? It's like
Right.
He was a super straight shooter. He was awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you had Batman, Lone Ranger, all those guys, Spider-Man, Iron Man. It was great. But when I was a kid playing with my dolls, action figures, it was like a little play.
Okay. So you and Superman go back like eons ago.
You could say that again. I would run around. My mother bought me this little shirt that had like a V, a little blue shirt. I would take, I guess, I don't know if it was my diaper or my blanket or some pictures of me. I'd go into the bedroom at 2 years old and come running out and go, "I'm Superboy or Superman." I'd be in my underwear, my red little boots, and I'd be like,
God.
"I'm Superboy" in my underwear. And
Oh
sometimes we'd have dinner guests over.
Sal, I dare you to do the same thing now.
Maybe later.
Maybe a couple of drinks, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Sal, how many movies have you shot?
A handful, and let's see, Austin's Angels, Camp Story, Good Friday, the Good Friday Feast. There's a few. Please Kill Me, and there's a few others. What happens is sometimes they get caught up in something called editing hell, and Austin's Angels is actually getting a remake over, and it's going to look awesome.
Okay, so
you didn't lose your notes, did you?
Sometimes no, I didn't lose my notes.
I hear shuffling of paper. I'm hoping you didn't lose your notes.
You heard that? Oh my God! No, I didn't lose my notes. As I'm disposing of the notes as we go along, as I refresh the notes, right?
Oh, sweet.
So you're also casting director. So when there's actors coming in for an audition, what is it that you're looking for in the actor? What's the first thing that catches your attention about them when they walk into the audition room?
Well, I do use other people or my partners to help cast, but usually you have a gut feeling, right? You have a really good gut feeling. You know what I'm saying? And it's like this thermometer behind me. You see it? It's like
that's a pretty
yeah. It's like you get a reading on people.
Okay.
If they're too obnoxious, my interest level drops.
Okay.
If they're able to duplicate what I ask them to do, then my interest level goes up. If their duplication ability is, example, if I tell them, if I need you to give me more of an emotion of blue, but they give me red or whatever, anger, apathy, whatever.
Okay.
So if they give me opposite or they start creating their own viewpoint, my interest level drops. Like we were auditioning somebody for the a project I was working on, Good Samaritan, and we tell everybody, please stay in the waiting room and work on your lines. And when the guy came, I said, please give me a performance to the best of your abilities without memorizing the lines and without having your nose too much into the script. And the guy's reading it like this, right? And I said, can you give me a performance? He goes, you never told me that. And he's getting all huffy with me.
Oh.
That brings my interest level down. That's not a pro. A professional knows to get as much of the lines and become as much of the character as you can. I mean, I could even tell you stories on the set, but I'm just going to give you that. Be able to duplicate and replicate what's on paper. to the best of your ability. It doesn't have to be 100% at an audition, but be interesting, but not over the top. Look at me, you know?
Okay, but they come in, they know their lines well, they're able to perform, but there are other aspects that they should also pay attention to. You were talking to me about their appearance.
I would say, listen, sometimes people go from audition to audition, right? So they're going to come in how they look. And then other guys sometimes come in very well prepared for the part. So
Okay.
it's a mixed bag of how you look, how you listen, how you're willing to take notes. I'll give a guy some chances. But if they don't write down and take notes, you can't work with the guy, you know?
Is it a good idea to come in knowing your own lines and also the other guy's lines? Give you an example. You have the audition. His part is Roger. It went well. Okay, thank you, whatever. And could the actor actually ask you, say, can I read the part for Clyde?
Sure, why not? Because what happens is maybe the guy is dressed like a certain way, but maybe he's better to do the other part because maybe he looks like a strong alpha male, but maybe as an actor, his projection, his emotion, the way he evokes is not an alpha male. So sure, play the other. Let's try you with the other part.
Okay, so that's exactly what I was thinking. Sal, listen, we have that clip we're going to be showing here.
Yeah.
And apparently the characters have a little bit of a hard time with speech, especially when they humiliate you. Folks,
you know,
stand by.
It's funny. There's a couple of things. I sent you a couple of videos, and it's funny. Like I like to write things on the spot. Like if I would say I'm an environmental type improvisationalist. If I see something or I feel something, I'll jot it down and I'll have the guys play with it, right? So about a year ago or so, I came up with like a Who's on First, which is in one of the clips. And this one, the humiliation, I thought that would be pretty funny if I have the guys around the boss while the hitman is coming in to pick up his pay and have him say, because the idea is he wants to have the priest humiliated. So
it took him about 10 times to say the word.
Yeah.
Hey, Sal, you know what? Let's not spoil it. So let's get right into it.
Right on.
Folks, I'm going to be showing you the clip, the trailer to Good Friday, a film that our guest tonight is wearing many hats. He's producing, directing. He's an actor in it. He's the casting director. It's absolutely brilliant. So stay tuned for a good time.
Thank you, Robert.
Gio, you know what you're here for, right?
Yeah, you want me to take care of the priest, right?
How you gonna do it?
I can do anything you want. I can strangle him, I can pick him through the top of the head, or, I can just poke him in the eyes with something, shoot him in the balls.
That sounds all good, but most of all, I want you to
Unimate him? What?
Unify him.
Humiliate.
That's English. You already said?
Humiliate.
Humiliate. Humiliate.
Since I met you, I feel fine.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back to church and confess, along comes Father Bello.
I'm a Father Nello Bello. I'm new to the dialysis here.
No secret is safe, not even the moms.
Who's Gio? Who's this clown? This guy gets on my nerves. Who are you calling a clown? I'm getting tired of you. Whoa!
Oh, man, let me eat. Oh, my God.
Hey,
Oh!
If you want to know what's good for you, just keep an eye on your back, okay?
Right? It's my park. He's a priest. You have to let you play here. Come on. Boss, what do you want me to do?
Thank you, guys.
Teach this kid the ropes.
Take care of punks like that.
No. To take care of a priest like this.
That's a nice.
We're gonna throw one hell of a shindig.
The critics say religiously entertaining.
Can you hold this for a minute? This real lambskin. Give me a second.
Brings your faith back in movies. The best vote since the last pope.
Yeah, take it easy. He's all right.
How's he smell?
You know what? I gotta tell you, he smells pretty good.
Of course, he smells good.
Deja vu all over.
Smell nice.
He smells good.
You two guys, easy, your ice cream down. We're talking about a cat.
Father Bello, you have to listen to me. Your ways with these people down here, it's not working for this parish at all. You understand me? I'm serious.
I will, Father Exterior. Thank you. Bye-bye, Father Exterior.
That's totally amazing. Very, very entertaining. Good job, buddy.
Thank you.
Good.
You know, when I hit the ball in the stickball scene, it went into the basket.
No way. And you
Across
don't
the
have that
park.
on film.
It's on film.
Oh, really? Oh, my God. If we come and shoot something in New York one day, maybe you could show this. Yeah?
We could do a lot of stuff if you come to New York. As I'm watching, I have to tell you, I'm watching this clip, right? And things are running through my mind because it's an amazing piece of nostalgia getting your old neighborhood in the 70s, right?
Right.
And I'm thinking various people like Ellen and other people have said to me, why don't you do a series, right? I've written some clips, but I'm thinking maybe something to do with where they start in a bar and then they go, you know, something. I'm watching this and I'm formulating something else. You know, it's amazing.
There's no shortage of ideas.
That's the art of creation. You know.
And there's a reason why all the other guys couldn't hit that ball and you hit that ball so well, because you have some kind of athletic ability that allowed you. Hang on a sec, I'm getting somewhere. You have some kind of an athletic ability that got you to try out for some kind of a professional team.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, I did try out for the Mets twice. And, one of the times I actually did hit the ball to almost right center field.
Oh.
That's about it. I think I was like you see in the clip, I'm kind of a ragamuffin player. I mean, there's some clips missing where I'm helicoptering with the bat. I'm actually right-handed, but I thought it would be funnier, right? Funnier if I had him play left-handed and smack the ball, run the wrong way, and all the shenanigans.
I love that long shot when we see you running.
I know, right?
Awesome.
Did you see the short?
Hang on a second. Which one are we talking about?
There's a Good Friday short that's about 30-something minutes, which is going to get actually turned into a film. I'll tag you later. I mean,
sure, yeah, by all means. And let us know if you want us to share it. Let us know how we can do that for you.
Sure, I'll tag you. You'll get to see some more further development of each clip in the teaser, and then we're going to probably add another 30 minutes or more and make an hour, 72-minute movie. You know.
Okay, Sal, to go back into your acting days, because you also have other talents, and we want to go to that as well. Which actors influenced you the most?
There's so many. I have to start with the cartoon guys, Bugs Bunny, right? Woody Woodpecker, right? And then in the acting world, Dustin Hoffman, De Niro, Pacino, Armand Assante, Michael Caine, and then, of course, the comedians, Eddie Murphy, Jerry Lewis, Lou Costello, right? There's so many that you're always looking and absorbing. It could be music, film, art. I go to a lot of museums. I visit a lot of churches. I watch a lot of live shows, a lot of live videos, and you're constantly absorbing something. And you figure, you just put it all together.
So you're a pure New York bred boy. You were born in
Queens.
Queens. I don't want to give it away.
Oh, thanks.
So
just
you were
like
born
Coming to America. If you watch the movie Coming to America, Eddie Murphy's wife, Lisa, who becomes, I guess, the new queen, is from Queens. Actually, that McDougal's, that restaurant that's supposed to be like the McDonald's, I actually worked in it for about a week.
No way.
Give or take, maybe less.
As a youth, as you were growing up, what were your aspirations?
Well, probably the earliest was to be astronaut. They were going to the moon. They were going into space. I was cutting up bleach bottles and making them into space helmets. I would take my baby blanket and put it across two chairs and say, "This is my ship, my rocket ship." Then at some point for a while, I wanted to be a doctor, but the kid upstairs cracked his head, and of all things, here I am about 7, 8 years old, and I got to bring him to the doctor to get stitches. That stopped my aspiration of wanting to be a doctor.
Wow. Okay, so we've talked about acting, and now we also want to talk about your musical talents. And apparently, you play some kind of an instrument.
You could say that again. The
Okay.
spoons. No, I don't. I've been playing bass since a kid. It's kind of like the extension of my personality, like Gene Simmons. I mean, I'm not Stanley Clark. I'm not Randy Coven. I'm not Billy Sheehan. But there is, even my mother used to say that I had my own sound, the way I'd pulse on it, boom, boom. It's an extension of your personality as well as what you like to play, and I love Kiss, and I love Motley Crue, Van Halen, Ozzy, things like that. It comes through in your playing. But right now we're playing something that's a little more different than what we grew up on. Like if you saw the studio right here, as you did before, we have Kiss posters all around, right? And so what happens is now we're playing something that's probably more 9 Inch Nails, White Zombie, Marilyn Manson type stuff.
Okay, so you're a huge Gene Simmons fan, and Gene Simmons, you were telling me there's a lot of celebrities that actually do come from the Queens area.
Well, he's originally from Haifa, Israel.
Okay.
He came to Queens, and so did Paul Stanley of Kiss.
Okay.
So if I'm just going to give you a little rundown of the rockers from the Queens area near where I grew up.
Sure.
Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, Elliot Easton of the Cars, Leslie West from Mountain that just passed away. I gave you Steve Stevens, Elliot Easton, Phil Fett, the bass player for Billy Idol, and there's a few other guys that'll come along when I think. Oh, the Ramones.
Oh,
yeah. There's a few others, but good enough for right now,
So when you picked up the bass, what did you tell the bass? I was made for loving you, baby. For those who didn't get it, It's the Kiss song. I was made for loving you, baby. Okay.
It was one of their bigger songs, so I'm sure people will get it, you know.
Which other instruments do you play?
The guitar, because it's, listen, what happened with me in music is I started playing as a kid, and when the guitar player would play these inversions, I didn't know what he was playing, so I started learning guitar, right?
Yeah.
Then I started taking drum lessons. Well, for a while, I had teachers teaching us from the drum book on bass. And then once in a while, some of these teachers would have us take us drumsticks. I wish I'd kept up with it because, you know, that right brain, left brain, you know, be able to pat your head and rub your belly type thing, then you'd be able to do a lot more. But, you know, I'm proficient enough to play. So what happens is, from the various teachers I had, you learn something and they give you a different viewpoint. And I guess, like we were talking about the last few days, when I started playing, MTV was just getting started, right? And so with MTV, you had, in one afternoon, you could watch Adamant, Madonna, Scorpions, Iron Maiden, Ozzy, Cyndi Lauper, Metallica. You get the picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I absorbed all that into my playing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And have you written any original material?
Oh, yeah. I've written some original material because it's, you absorb what you see and then you kind of osmosis out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Different vibes, you know, like I might like Rush for a minute, the Police, the Ramones, and then you stuck Genesis, and then you kind of like massage them all together. Yeah.
Okay, so Sal, time is going by so fast over here, and we have so much to talk about. So you're into the film world, you're into the music world, and you're also, interestingly enough, co-owner of the take that over, the North American Wrestling Experience.
That's right, NAX.
NAX, yeah.
Not only am I owner, but I'm also a manager. I'm the man that puts the pizzazz in the razzmatazz. Don't you forget it. This Sunday, March 14th, at about 3 o'clock or so, we're going to premiere NAX Crossroads. That means where all the wrestlers, like superheroes, get a call to arms of what they have to do. And it's a beautiful, beautiful mini movie. We're going to do this at Windows on the Lake in Ronkonkoma. We're going to have 2 comedians, Pat Maroney, Teresa Farrell, the IT Crew, Anthony Aveni, nice food. We're going to also shoot, while I have everybody there, because most of these people will never be able to, you'll never be able to get all these people together again.
No.
It's very hard. They're all coming from Pennsylvania, Manhattan, Brooklyn, the Bronx, Queens, Long Island. While we're there, I have a cameraman that's going to catch, because it is the location where we're filming the wedding. So I'm going to have the wrestlers and and I call them civilians, do a little something while we film.
Right.
So, yeah, I love wrestling. I love music. I love films. And so that's the scene, you know?
Okay. So for those people who would like to get tickets to attend the event, how do they go about it?
Well, they can go onto my Facebook page or contact Windows on the Lake.
Okay.
Or find me on Facebook or go to NAX Wrestling. And let me tell you, tickets are going very well. We'd like to sell a few more tickets, have a few more people there enjoying themselves with the yummy food, the great comedians, great music, and also watch the clip, which is great, and get to be in a scene for Good Friday.
Oh my God! And you know, and you were telling me the price backstage, and I'm saying like, wow, that's like,
it's $44. Listen, when I go with my partner, Big Jim, you know, Malta the Damager, he could damage a restaurant like the Hulk. He can eat. I mean, I can eat too, but He's almost 7 foot tall.
Oh, wow.
So what happens is he can eat, and you're not paying $44 when you go and eat with a guy like that. So $44, you're getting 2 comedians, 4 singers, a mini movie, and you get to be filmed. What more do you want than that? Forget about it. Great deal.
So is this event offered virtually at the same time?
No. How are you going to experience all this?
Well, let's say for people, the unfortunate ones like guys like myself.
Well,
you know.
Yeah, well, we'll send you a clip the next day. We'll send you a doggy bag and a clip, and a punchline. You have to be there to experience, because what happens is, if I have you, where would I put the camera? Because it's such a big room, things are going to be happening in I might do something. I'll talk to my partner tonight, or partners.
But it could be like at the same time. It can give more exposure to the NEX.
Well, the problem is we'd have to do it as a pay-per-view, because if you give it away, then people are going to say, "Why do I have to drive there?"
Okay. Yeah. Well, there's that too. But
we're trying to keep it exclusive.
Okay.
By invitation only, you get to see this amazing premiere before it hits the streets.
With the COVID over there, how does it work?
Well, we have 100 tables. One person sits at a table by themselves. What are you gonna do?
Okay.
We'll give them 2 masks. One that say NAX. The other one says Rob's Inner Circle. Every hour on the hour, they take it off, change it, take pictures, put on Facebook.
There you go. Yeah. So, talk to us a little bit more about the Wrestling Federation. I mean, how many wrestlers are part of your federation?
Oh, probably a few dozen. I mean, it's Malta the Damager, my partner, who just came back from Mexico, wrestling down there in the Cancun area. And we have many, many wrestlers, many. We have Tito Santana's nephew.
Oh.
He's known as Mega Wolf. We have a lot of guys. The Elements. There's so many, and more are being brought in. It's a great independent league, federation, if you may. Yeah.
Are
you asking these questions because at some point you want to get in the ring with me, or maybe one of the guys on the team? Maybe we got Hank, my friend Hank, who's about a couple years older than you. He might be a good adversary for you.
Sal, I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Don't dare me.
Okay.
And you know what? You can sell a heck of a lot of tickets. You get me one of those King Kong Bundy suits.
Like a
we could probably sell a few tickets. Look at this Canadian nut over here. What the hell's the matter with this guy? What is he doing?
Speaking of Canadian guys, I'm wearing my Bret the Hitman Hart, one of my most favorite wrestlers of all time. And do you know his mother? His mother is from this area.
Okay.
His mother was part Greek, Anglo-Saxon, but part Greek. And the next thing you know, they end up in Calgary. They actually did. The family did live here for a while the father was wrestling in New York.
Okay.
But yeah.
So there's a lot of plans.
The best there was, the best there is, the best there will be. The excellence of execution. Bret the Hitman Hart. You know what? Right?
Somehow I see Muhammad Ali. There's an influence the way you come up with these poems there. Muhammad Ali.
That's from Bret the Hitman Hart. But the putting the pizzazz in the razzmatazz comes from superstar Billy Graham that used to listen to a lot of Muhammad Ali, and Muhammad Ali used to listen to a lot of Gorgeous George.
Oh, really?
You put that together. See, one generation inspires the next generation and the next generation. And superstar Billy Graham was the #1 entertainment superstar athlete of entertainment in the whole world. I messed that up, but I'll do it on the second take,
It's okay. You know what? Hang on, Sal. We're both directors. You ready? Cut. Take 2. Action.
Thank you. So It's like I take from superstar Billy Graham, that takes from Muhammad Ali, that takes from Gorgeous George, and superstar Billy Graham was the #1 sports entertainment athlete in the world for a while. He was like 6'4", beautiful, and that's who Hulk Hogan took his persona from to some degree.
Oh yeah, okay.
And you might say I've taken my persona from Gene Simmons, Austin Powers, Eddie Murphy, Bugs Bunny, Burt Reynolds, whatever. I'm willing to break the fourth wall in the way they did.
So tell us, who are the wrestlers that you grew up loving?
Well, definitely Bruno Sammartino. That's who my father watched, and then we started digging on him. And then you had Stan the Man Stasiak, and then you had some great ones. I'm going to give you my top 5 or 6.
Go on, give us your top.
Bruno Sammartino, because he was the hero to the immigrants, and my parents were immigrants. Then superstar Billy Graham. You say I go one baby face, one heel. Then I'm going to give you Bret the Hitman Hart. He's a baby face, a hero. Most of the time he's a hero. Sometimes he played the brat, right? And then I'm going to give you number 4 was Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. Everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man. He was a heel. He didn't need the belt. He had so much heat. He created so much controversy for years. He was awesome. And then I'm going to say number 5, the Ultimate Warrior. If you want to say number 6, Macho Man, Hulk Hogan.
Oh, I love Macho.
Yeah, Macho Man. Hey, brother, and oh yeah, bite into a thing of Slim Jim. Sadly, Macho Man is gone.
Yes.
Bruno.
Uh-huh.
Bruno is gone. He was the Superman from Abruzzi.
Oh, okay.
Abruzzi, Italy, yes.
Bruno who again?
Bruno Sammartino.
Sammartino, okay. Yes.
Yeah.
I remember him.
He wrestled in Canada for a while. He was our champion for many years. Yes.
I mean, there's some names that we didn't even mention. That Coco Beware, Ricky Steamboat.
Coco Beware. Ricky Steamboat. He was great. He was always a hero. I think for a minute he turned into a bad guy. Tito Santana, Hercules Hernandez. Oh, we could go on and on. So many.
Jake the Snake Roberts,
Jake the
Abdullah
Snake
the Butcher.
Roberts, Harley Race, Arn Anderson, Dusty Rhodes. I mean, the list goes on. What happens is I liked all the federations. I mean, WWE or WWF or WWF was what you saw here in the Northeast, but there's also other, Bret the Hitman Hart and his father Stu Hart come from the Calgary Stampede Federation.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. I think that there was some kind of a wrestling federation now from the East. Yeah, the Western Canada.
Yeah, that was at Stampede, and there was others as well. And I think you're going to connect us, and we're going to invade your territory. You better watch out. You better watch out, because the real war machine, the real warheads are going to be exploding on contact when NAX come down to Montreal. You better watch out. You like that?
Folks, this is going to turn into one of those wrestling standoffs. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll see about that.
You better watch out.
So actually, are you planning on coming to Montreal with the Federation?
I love Montreal. I was there in Montreal for 2 weeks, and that's how we met through a roundabout. I was dating a girl that was not only my girlfriend, she was my partner in the teaser, Domenica Pizzioli. And what happens is I spent 2 weeks there with her, and the food is great. I love that downtown area, hanging out on the balconies, eating and having a nice adult beverage or whatnot. But I'd like to come back and bring the Federation. I actually like to come back and maybe film in your Chinatown. I like to come back and do a lot of stuff,
Sal, let's make it happen.
I'm hoping very soon, sooner than later, because of all the things that are happening in the world. And then what happens is you run out of steam. People run out of steam. They don't talk to each other. They get tired, move on to other little games. And then they forget to call each other.
You know what's very unfortunate? This is something that I've noticed is that so many wrestlers have passed away, and it's like at a young age.
Well,
what is happening?
Well, first of all, you put your body in danger. It's not that easy. If you ever did martial arts, I did a martial arts for a few years, and I was coming home with some bruises, getting thrown on the mats, getting thrown on the floor, getting thrown up against the wall. Anyway, I'll wait till you stop with it's hard with the papers being shuffled. So what happens is they get hurt. They're performing at such a high athletic level. And then some of the guys like to party because there's nothing else to do. You just performed in front of 200 people or 2,000 people or 20,000 people or 200,000 people, and then you go to this little room and you're stuck in this room. What do? You go to the bar, you drink, you get high, you try to numb your pains, and the next thing you know, you're smoking pot to get down, coke to get up, steroids to get bigger. You're sniffing Vicodin with your coke. You get the picture, right?
Wow. And there's also a lot of wrestlers who get concussed. And by the way, what happened before is that the paper fell on my camera. I got it out of the way. Sorry. That was unintentional. There's a lot of concussions in the sport.
Well, it's like any sport. I mean, look at football. You're getting hit so many times. It's like a mini car accident. It's like having a couple of car accidents. So now, let's say you or me, which we're not as tall as, say, some of these other guys. I mean, in the 40s and 50s, wrestlers were about our height, right? But as the guys started getting bigger, do you imagine going up against a guy who's 6'4", and being, maybe I'm a little taller than Rey Mysterio or something? It's like a concussion. It's like a bad accident waiting to happen. It's like 5 car accidents per day. I don't know. You get the comparison, right? Plus, especially the guys that are flying through the air, like Jimmy Snuka, or any of these guys jumping from the mezzanine into the ring, off towers, off ladders.
Wow.
You get the picture. Yeah. So.
Pardon me if this sounds silly. I am a wrestling fan myself, but a thought crossed my mind. It doesn't have to be a football helmet, but is there any consideration that maybe in the future there may be some protective headgear coming its way into wrestling?
Well, here's the problem with that is if it's done wrong and you throw a guy wearing a helmet, you could break his neck. Now, maybe, just maybe, you pad, they wear the masks, right?
Yeah, sure. Mask, yeah.
And you could pad the neck, the back of the head, and maybe the back of the neck, and maybe pad it up a little bit, And so when they fall, they don't get hurt so much.
I was thinking
Hulk Hogan always wore knee pads.
Yeah, I was thinking more, those boxing protective things.
Yeah. Okay, that could work. I think they do in the Greco-Romano wrestling.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you see what happens is the steroid pulls their muscle from the or from the bone or the ligament, and also deteriorates those ligaments and cartilage and whatnot. And what happens is probably destroys the nerves too when you're mixing it with coke and pot and cocaine, whatever, right? And so what happens is they need hip replacements and knee replacements, especially some of those guys are flying through the air at such neck-breaking speeds, and they bang and they fall, hitting a knee, hitting an elbow, hip. So there's a lot of stuff could happen. So your idea is, well, I'm going to document it and maybe see what we could do about it.
And you know what? The NAX could probably be a groundbreaking federation that implements something as interesting as this, and you never know, people might follow up on it.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, they did it in the Greco-Romano and the boxing. I mean, listen, anything's possible because people are getting hurt at a lot. Because what happened is, say in the last 20 years or more, the backyard wrestling has like come to fruition. Now you can have, and those kids are jumping off roofs and doing a lot of stuff that they see on TV with the garbage cans, ladders, chains, hammers, whatever, right? Planks of wood, tables. So now you can have a ring in your backyard, but you could get hurt if it's not done right, right? And so we got to be careful that more people are not getting hurt, protect them. And like in when you make a movie, there's stuntmen that come in that know how to do that. The actor, Bruce Willis is going to come off set, cut, Bruce come back, Tom Selleck come back, Eddie Murphy come back, and then someone takes their spot and does the real action,
Okay, so in short, wrestlers are actually stuntmen.
You could say that. I mean, if you're going to take a beating like that, a bump, a fall, a kick, you have to be trained how to fall, how to take a. I mean, if you ever went to martial arts or wrestling, you got to learn how to fall first. Even in gymnastics, how do you fall on the trampoline first? How to fall on the mat?
So what's in store for Sal in the upcoming months, years, decades, and centuries? What are you looking at to do next? Is there anything that you haven't done that you would like to do?
Be the first artist in space, I guess, right?
That'd be pretty cool. Can you imagine having a wrestling match in space while you're playing the bass? Oh, what happened? Oh, we lost Sal. We lost the signal. Oh my God, we're so close to the end. Oh, he's back. You back?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Somebody was
good stuff.
So what happens is, what's in store for me is to finish more movies, create more symbiotic relationships with people that we can grow. I think I'm good, and it maybe I scratched the level of greatness in my corner, but you imagine to work with an Eddie Murphy.
Oh yeah.
I aspire to work with an Eddie Murphy. Sadly, Burt Reynolds passed. To work with a Robert De Niro, to work with an Al Pacino, to work with a Travolta, to work with Hulk Hogan, to work with Gene Simmons, to work with Paul, on and on. But what happens is, if you can work with guys like that for a few years at a time, Alice Cooper, Richie Blackmore, what happens is now you're going to just thrive and learn a lot more than what I'm learning on my own. And what happens is a lot of things get polished. That's what I'd like to do. I would like to get to the level of being a lot more polished and finishing up more projects.
Well, if you were to ask me that question and I have a perfect answer for you, you want to work with all these guys, Eddie Murphy, Hulk Hogan. You know what my aspiration is, Sal?
Tell me.
I want to work with Sal Rinella.
Fist bump, bro.
Hey, bud, I did not even give you here the salute.
oh, shit.
Where's Where's that glass of gin you got? Oh my God, what happened? We lost Sal. Did you punch out the camera, Sal, or what? What happened? Oh my God, we lost Sal. Anyways, we're gonna stick around. Hopefully, Sal is gonna be able to get back on. Something must have happened. Ah, here he is. He's back. Sal, come on back. Sal,
oh
we
my
all
God.
thought,
you know what happened?
we all thought you punched the camera.
I fist bumped myself off this. Listen, I appreciate you, Patty, Jenny. Thank you for having me. It's been a blessing since the day I met you, and I'm sure we can learn a lot from each other. And I love this business, and I keep learning. Every day I take notes, and that's all you could do, right?
Sal, what
Salud.
an amazing show. It's salud. Let's have that last sip.
Thank you so much.
Sal, please stick around. We're going to have our backstage party with Patty and Jenny.
Sure.
Our exclusive, what do you call those things? You pay all that much money to hang out with the actors there?
After party?
No, after the show
Meet
there.
and greet. Meet and greet.
Meet and greet. We're going to have our meet and greet. Eat your
Thank you
hearts
so
out. Okay.
God bless you. Good night. And thank you for having me.
Stick around, Sal. Okay, please.
Thank you. I will.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, that was our guest tonight, the amazing Sal Rinella, an absolutely talented and very pleasant fellow. Interesting show we had tonight. Our next show coming up, we're going to have a special this upcoming Thursday, March 11th, same time at 8 o'clock. We're going to have Captain Robert Pichet, who was the captain on board a flight at Flight 236 of Air Transat. He lost both engines over the Atlantic Ocean, and he was faced with a situation that a life-threatening situation, and he pulled through amazingly. We're going to have him on the show this Thursday, March 11, 8 p.m. Make sure you put that in your calendars. We'll be expecting you. Next week, same time, same place. Next Monday, we're going to have comedian Natasha G. Filion. In the meantime, thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. And from now till Thursday, God bless. Ciao, Bella.